Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another transfer talk roundup show. This transfer window is going absolutely crazy for Aston Villa at the moment. We have got news of shock bids rejected, Saudi offers coming in and being accepted, players going out on loan confirmed, and Villa trying to do some deals to get some players in. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, help us continue on the road to 10k. We are getting closer and closer to that big 6k, so please do help us get there by liking and subscribing, and get your comments in below. Now, the first one is absolutely crazy, especially on the eve 2 or 3 hours before we're due to play Celtic in one of the biggest games of our season. Apparently, Arsenal have bid £60 million for Ollie, Watkins, and it has been rejected out of hand by Aston Villa. It's classed as being sort of insulting, especially with such a huge game on the horizon. However, it does beg the question, is it something that Ollie Watkins would consider? We kind of hear on the grapevine that he's an Arsenal fan. Apparently, the secret scout had said that he's already agreed to the move or agreed terms. I mean, I don't know how these people get knowledge of this, whether it's agents talk, whether it's, just putting it out there to see if anyone bites. But certainly it then got reported as official bid, and it did actually get officially reported as an actual bid. And then obviously Villa stepped out to say they've absolutely rejected it. And especially, as I said, before a game like this, and it's absolutely crazy to suggest that we will be entertaining this right now. Now, would we potentially entertain it if the bids increased, or would we look at doing something, as the week goes on? I don't know. We're obviously talking a second about the other player who we've got a bid in for, or the striker who we've got offers in for as well. But Ollie Watkins is an interesting one, 29 years of age, been at Villa for a long time. Arsenal clearly in need of a striker. Is it something that could get done? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is it just similar to maybe what West Ham did with Jhon Duran, putting a bid out there to kind of show that the fans that they'd put in bids in, that they're trying to look to sign players, but ultimately they know that Aston Villa aren't going to accept a bid from Arsenal. They know they're certainly not going to accept a bid right now. Ollie Watkins isn't going to throw his toys out the pram and sort of say he's not going to play anymore. We're literally 5 or 6 days from the window closing. So ultimately, is it just to kind of say, we tried to put a bid in for a player, but, Aston Villa didn't accept it, and so we're going to have to continue without a striker? That's kind of where I'm leaning to. Would Villa fans prefer to sell Ollie Watkins than Jhon Duran? Maybe some would. In my opinion, I would say no, but I can understand the reasons why people would, in terms of the age, in terms of the potential of Jhon Duran, in terms of where we think he might be able to get to in terms of improving and, adding the other elements to his game, and purely on the fact of his finishing ability and the ability to come up with moments of absolute brilliance. Watkins has missed a lot of big chances this season. Maybe he's on the decline. Can he continue with that sort of running power and that speed endurance that he's got into his 30s? Unai Emery and the coaches have said he can continue up until mid-30s, late 30s. So that could be an option as well to consider. So I certainly don't think he's going to go anywhere right now, but I think the timing of the bid is pretty wrong, to be honest. It's pretty low, especially just before a game like this. The player probably isn't bothered. He's just concentrating on the game, but certainly the fans. And maybe it will serve to increase the atmosphere at Villa. Maybe it will serve to kind of get the fans behind Ollie Watkins, and hopefully he can score quite a few goals tonight and sort of show everyone what he's all about. But yeah, crazy times in this transfer window, and shows the desperation of a lot of clubs and how they're leaving it so late now in the window to try and get anything over the line. Now, we have also seen that Al Nassr have apparently put a bid of 70 million euros in front of Villa for Jhon Duran. So that is interesting. I think maybe if they up that a little bit, I think Villa accept it. Apparently, Duran on this side, again, how they find this out, I don't know, but has agreed terms with them. He's fully agreed to the deal. We'll be interested to see whether he's in the squad tonight for Villa, and that will tell us a hell of a lot of what's going on with the bid. If it's me, I think Duran goes more likely than Ollie Watkins. And obviously that will lead us to whether we can sign players or whether we're comfortable in signing the players that maybe Unai Emery wants. So that deal seems to be moving on. I think the Saudi window lasts longer than the UK or European window. So maybe that deal can be done a little bit later. But we will see what happens. I think maybe, as I say, 5 or 10 million extra euros. And I think that deal could be done. And then it depends on who we can get in. Now, João Felix still is the one I think that Unai Emery wants. He's apparently, Monchi and the team are locked in talks with Chelsea to see if a deal can be done with Felix. Now, you think that if Duran goes for the money that we're asking for, then we can make a transfer for João Felix. I've also heard that Manchester United are interested in him as well, but apparently he's left the door open for Unai Emery. He thinks he's the coach who can get the best out of him. And I think it would be a really exciting signing for Villa, someone who would obviously offer that little bit of spark, a little bit of quality, something slightly different. And with Brender, which we'll come on to in a second, moving out on loan, this player is, again, an upgrade on that sort of position. So for me, I'll be interested to see. It's obviously a totally different profile to Jhon Duran. It puts pressure on, again, Ollie Watkins in terms of his fitness and staying fit and not getting injured. And also then leaves us a little bit light in the striker department, although maybe Daniel Marlon can fill in those positions if need be. Axel Disasi looks like it's going to get very much done on loan. Apparently he's agreed. I think Wolves came in from as well for a loan bid. This will be a straight loan and we'll obviously pay a loan fee, I think, in and around the 4 million mark. But I think that's pretty much done. I expect that to get announced very soon. And Brender has been confirmed as going out on loan to Bayer Leverkusen. Great move for him with an option to buy, looking around about the £17 million mark. So if he can really kick on and keep going with the season, then we make a decent bit of money back for him and obviously gets him a chance to reignite his career. And, you know, any transfer fee at the moment is pretty good in terms of what we need to do in terms of balancing the books. Louis Barry has had his loan to Hull confirmed today. He's signed a new contract with Villa as well, so that obviously protects the asset a little bit more. They've paid a 1 million loan fee. So again, you know, if he does really well for Hull and this rest of this season keeps progressing, does he come back in and sort of challenge for the first team, or does he come back and then we sell him, you know, around about the 10 million plus mark? Again, something that we look to do with these academy players, which adds additional money to the funds, PSR, and all that kind of regulation that we need to be aware of. But yeah, I thought I had to jump on and talk about this Ollie move. It's a little bit come out of left field, to be fair. I mean, they have stumped up that 60 million. It's a bit mad. But if they upped it by 10 million, if they upped it by 15 million to 75 million, do you take that deal? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's a big one because you'd obviously have to have time to bring someone in. Would you keep Duran and have Felix play behind him? We can't sell both of them at the same time. Is there something lined up in the summer for a Jonathan David or someone like that we're waiting on, or Semi Killishoy that we've talked about, 19, 20 years of age? This is I think the situation with Villa at the minute. I think it's going to be a real transition time. With bids coming in for players that have been established at Villa for a long time, and then us considering moves for the likes of McGinn, for the likes of Martinez, you know, some players that have been with us for a long time. Is it going to be a bit of a transition summer of players going out? We can claim fees for Matty Cash as well. Obviously, other right backs coming in. So is that going to signal a bit of a transition for Villa in the summer? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but 60 million for me, absolutely not. And it's way too late in the window for me, but you never know. You never know. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with a hopefully successful match reaction after Celtic. What a game we have in store for us tonight. Get that win and hope one of those results goes our way and we secure our place in the top 8. And that will again allay so many of the worries in terms of fixtures, in terms of finance, all that sort of stuff moving forward into the Champions League. And yes, I will be back to react to all things Aston Villa from that game. We'll also have a full match reaction with the boys. We'll have preview for Wolves coming up, more transfer talk. So much going on at Villa at the moment. So make sure you stick with the channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Get your comments in below, your thoughts on all these potential moves in and out of the club. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.